Hi, I'm Joe Feeks, editor of Pig Health Today, and with me is Dr. Micah Jansen. She's a technical service veterinarian for Zoetis. Nice to have you here.
Thanks, glad to be here.
Let's talk about vaccinations. Now, the industry is blessed with a huge arsenal of vaccinations for viral and bacterial diseases, but these vaccines are only as good as the way they're handled, stored, and administered. Is that right?
That's exactly right. So a vaccine is not going to work if it doesn't get in the pig. And this has been a concern within the industry for a long time. You know, we have individuals that are administering vaccines, and if they're not doing that properly, as you mentioned, handling them properly, maybe administering them properly, then the vaccines don't get the full chance that they need to be able to do their job.
And then I'm sure it comes back to you and to other animal health companies, hey, your vaccine didn't work.
Sure. So if something goes wrong in that process, we didn't have any control over it, but it looks like our product failed. And that's often not the case.
You visit a lot of farms as a technical service veterinarian. You work with lots of different vets and producers. What are some common mistakes that you see?
I think probably one of the biggest concerns that we have is the actual administration of the product. So when you're administering vaccine to a pig, depending on the age of the pig, you may not be fully restraining it. So sometimes we can hold the pig and administer a vaccine, and that's a pretty easy process. I say that lightly, but when it comes time to vaccinate larger pigs that we can't fully restrain, and we have to give all of them a dose of vaccine, it becomes more and more difficult. At the same time, they're often, they're in pens, and so they might be in a large pen where it's hard to get them in an area of the pen where they can be given the vaccine with proper technique. And so I think the actual administration of the product is the biggest concern or the biggest area of opportunity. I think handling problems can also come up as an issue, and that's not only what is in the control of the caregiver, it's also what happens before the product reaches the site. We can't always predict if a vaccine maybe got to a higher temperature than we would like it to be stored at, or the opposite, if it maybe got colder than we would like it to be stored. Some of those things could happen en route to the farm, and we don't know. Along the same lines, if a caregiver receives the product and maybe doesn't get it in the fridge right away, or maybe they think, I'm just going to take this entire box of vaccine and put it in the fridge, and they don't remove it and get the bottles out where air can circulate, that can be another problem. So there's several different things about handling that can also impact the quality of the final product.
Are there certain types of vaccinations, whether they be commercial or autogenous, or maybe vaccines for certain diseases that might be less forgiving than others?
Yes. So modified live vaccines are what would come to mind immediately. And if a vaccine is created as a modified live vaccine, it needs to be handled in a certain way to make sure that whatever that pathogen is doesn't die. The whole goal of getting that product in the animal is maintaining a live organism. And if we don't handle it properly and that pathogen is killed in the process, then we've completely removed the ability of that product to get in the pig and do its job and develop a robust immune response.